everybody, my name is Beatrice and welcome to Storytime with B. Today we're going to be reading the ABCs of AOC, written by Jamia Wilson, illustrated by Quiles. A reason why we're reading this story today is because she's an important woman in history, because she was elected to Congress when she was an underdog, and that's an important fact about her. And everybody thought that a more funded and more popular congressman would win, but she kept on going and she won, which I think that's very important about her. So, let's dive into the story. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from A to Z, the ABCs of AOC, written by Jamia Wilson, illustrated by Quiles. Jamia Wilson is a feminist, activist, and author based in New York City. She is the author of Young, Gifted, and Black, among other words. Quiles is a freelancer illustrator from the Bronx, New York. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a third-generation Bronxite educator and organizer serving the 14th District of New York in the Bronx and Queens. Ocasio-Cortez grew up experiencing the reality of New York's rising income inequality, inspiring her to organize her community and run for office on a progressive platform with a campaign that rejects corporate PAC funds. To my one and only mom, thank you for teaching me to speak up, stand strong, and get on up and keep it moving. No matter what, I'll see you in the stars. JW. To Ma and Poppy and Lynn, KQ. A. Advocate. As an advocate for the people of her community, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez works to change lives for the better. B is for Bronx. AOC was born in the Bronx, a part or borough of New York City, and she now represents a section of the Bronx in Congress. C. Congress. Congress is the legislative branch of the U.S. government. Representatives from every state meet at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. to make laws. D is for democracy. In a democracy, people use their vote as their voice to elect people to represent them in government. E. Education. Through teachers, books, and new experiences, education provides students with tools and information to help them mature and succeed. F is for feminist. Feminists believe all people, regardless of gender, deserve equal rights, treatment, and access to opportunities. G is for grassroots. Grassroots activism starts on the ground, in neighborhoods when everyday people work together to make change in their community. H is for human rights. Equal treatment under the law, freedom, and safety are among the basic human rights that people are born with, regardless of their age, ethnicity, gender, religion, or opinions. I is for immigration. Immigration is coming into a new country to live there permanently. J. Jobs. AOC believes that the government should guarantee fair-paying jobs to people looking to put their skills, time, and energy to use. K. Knowledge. The knowledge people gain from their education and life experiences help them solve problems and empowers them to stand up for their beliefs. L is for Latinx. Latinx is a gender-neutral term for people of Latin American heritage, like AOC, who is Puerto Rican. M is for media. AOC uses the media, the internet, newscasts, television, and radio to educate the public and bring attention to issues she cares about. N is for nonconformist. AOC often chooses her own path instead of following other people's ideas of how things should be done, and this makes her a nonconformist. O is for opponents. The two main political parties in America, the Democrats and Republicans, often have different beliefs and goals that put them on opposing sides of issues. P is for protests. People join together at public protests to show their disapproval of injustices. Q is for Queens. AOC's congressional district includes part of Queens, another of New York's 5 boroughs, famous for being the most ethnically diverse urban area in the world. R. Revolutionary. A revolutionary fights for fundamental change. AOC is pressing for dramatic transformations in healthcare, immigration, and environmental policies. Science. AOC's first passion was science, and today it informs her views on climate change and healthcare for all people. T. Teamwork. Teamwork enables people to reach a common goal. AOC was sworn into Congress along a record number of newly elected women, many of whom continue to vocally support one another. U. Underdog. An underdog is someone who isn't expected to win a competition due to starting off at a disadvantage. Like AOC, when she won a primary race against a better-funded and better-known congressman. V. Visionary. A visionary is a creative thinker who imagines a different future. W. Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States and the center of American politics and government. Xenophobia. Xenophobia is the fear and hatred of strangers or foreigners. AOC uses her position in Congress to speak out against hate and discrimination. Y is for youth. At 29 years old, AOC is the youngest woman elected to Congress, and her youth informs her ideas for solving problems that will affect the next generation. Z. Zeal. Zeal is the energy and excitement that fuels activists like AOC as they strive for their goals and chase their vision of a better world. So thinking back to this story, I hope that she inspires you to just go vote and don't let anybody say that you can't win or anything like that. You should keep on pushing forward and never give up. Fun fact about my life, every single year that somebody has been elected into the government, I've always gone and pushed the button. So that's pretty funny about my life, or a fun fact about my life. So, thank you for joining us for Storytime with B, and I hope you join us for our next story. I am Jazz. And so, well, bye!